Hey, thank you so much, Alex. I appreciate it. And definitely ask questions, because this is, out of all of our webinars, this is probably going to be the most, I would think, to have more questions about, because it is something that has existed for a decade and a half, but it is becoming more and more popular. So we'll just dive right in. Basically, we're Team SI, we're digital focused, but we all focus on data. And so when we say without data, you have no marketing plan. So that being said, all this information is coming in from our partnership with Google, as we're a premier partnership and exclusive inside of the equipment dealers and manufacturers and heavy equipment as well. And our task from Google and vice versa was driving innovation in this industry, which we have done for the past couple of years because we did it in the automotive business, but we're 100% data driven. So this is 100% about data driven, that programmatic. So today we'll discuss what is programmatic. That's the big key. And programmatic is a definition that is a mouthful. But again, please write down questions or submit questions. What kind of ads are annoying people the most? And you could probably have this experience and this expertise, but when you're on your, let's say your smartphone, because everybody's on their smartphone, you know, the desktop is very randomly used in our shopping for equipment or retail or anything. So we do everything and make purchase decisions on our smartphone. And so when you're on your smartphone and you're looking at, you know, CNN.com or weather.com or a local TV station website, and you get a pop-up banner or a floating goose, or I don't know, but something that floats across your screen as an ad, that's pretty annoying. And I know everybody has experienced those, so we'll talk about that as well, because all of this deals with advertising. And then we will talk about the golden rules of building better ad experiences, and then steps to succeed using programmatic advertising. So first of all, what exactly is programmatic advertising? I'm not necessarily going to read to you, because I think everybody can read and you'll get this information anyway. But think about it this, everyone on this call has seen programmatic advertising. Whether you show interest that you are shopping on Bass Pro's website and you're looking at a product, well, you're going to then start seeing ads that from like Academy or from a different vendors rather than Bass Pro, and then you're going to start seeing Bass Pro, but then you're going to start seeing behavioral traits tied together that is showing that product A that you looked at, but then also saying maybe you want product B and C. Everyone has experienced that, especially with Amazon purchases. Amazon knows you better than the CIA does because of your shopping habits. So basically what programmatic is, it's advertising that's constantly evolving, just like what I mentioned, from online ads and video to digital out of home. And so when we say digital out of home, think about the things that we wear, from your smartwatches to your smartphones to your smart car, all of that. Streaming devices. So when you're sitting and you're watching, like in my office, like in our offices here, we have 3 floors. We do not subscribe to cable here because I don't want people just sitting around watching cartoons all day. But we all have the Apple TVs connected to every single TV, so they can watch anything they want, like Hulu, etc. Those are streaming devices, and everybody's heard of Netflix, everyone's heard of Hulu, everybody's heard of those streaming capabilities. But there's this new one that's called voice, and you know, if you could raise your hands, I don't know that you could, but think about Alexa's, Google Home, the things of the future. And when I say the things of the future, TV is another one. So very near in the future, you're not going to necessarily place television like you used to back in the day with calling up a radio rep or a TV rep and saying, you know, I just want to air in the 6 o'clock news, because every business has their niche audience. And we don't have to reach 100% of the audience, when in fact our our industry only needs to reach about 1% of the total audience available to us. And so that's where programmatic TV is going to come into play as well. And it's a way to use technology to buy and sell media. So that's what we do here. But programmatic and real-time bidding. So what real-time bidding is, think about the stock exchange. So when you go and you're paying a CPM rate of $12 for a display ad that your agency comes back to you, and you say, why is that so expensive? Well, the average is $12, but during the day it may spike up to $18, and during the night it might go down to $4. The purpose of that is the higher the CPM cost you usually pay, the more premium websites and the higher above the fold you go. And that is where that real-time bidding. So every time when a website launches on desktop or mobile, you'll always see it takes a second for the ads to load. And that's not because the ads are slow, it is because it's real-time bidding. In microfractions of a second, your ads are trying to outbid other ads that are likely about 10,000 ads trying to bid for that one little space. So that is all driven by data, but it's real-time bidding, but it's where the consumer is in the stage of purchasing or renting something you have to offer. And so like I was given the Bass Pro example, if somebody went to your website and you were doing programmatic advertising, you could then start deploying programmatic advertising tailored to what they looked at on your site to get them back to your website, and or to take a competitor's traits and behavioral traits to then target your own traits. So for example, then digital advertising used to be bought and sold manually. So like your TV station rep or radio rep would call you, and this was me 9 years ago, where we would say, hey, we want a banner ad, we want to put you on a banner ad on our website, okay? That is the way of the old days, because not everyone is your customer. I think we all know that, but if you don't, newsflash, not everyone is our customer. Just like for me, not everyone is our customer. So our CTRs, our click-through rates were really, really low. And then programmatic advertising came along, and it is now higher CTRs because you're able to now target the people that you specifically want, because it's more granular into the campaigns, and it's individually and using data-driven tactics inside of your ad campaign. So like inside of Google, inside of Facebook, etc. And that's how things are purchased now. And that is how it's going to go into the future. So we've been leaning towards programmatic for, like I said, a decade and a half. And we have a graph to show you that, yes, programmatic is definitely how it's spending. So if you look on this graph, programmatic digital display ad spending. So this doesn't even account for video. I want to be cognizant of that there's a lot more spend inside of it. But you can see from 2015 to 2019, these are in billions of dollars of how quickly the increase is to programmatic, period, and no longer buying display like the good old days of purchasing banner ads on your local news stations, radio stations, or local community websites, just because not everyone is our customer. And this is a more efficient way to grab leads, and definitely more efficient way to target the people that are in the right segment of your customer funnel. So the truth of the matter of the fact is, by 2019, 83.6% of all U.S. digital display ad dollars will be transacted programmatically. So that's exactly how we do it here at TMSI. We've been doing it for 9 years. We don't buy anything static. It's always been programmatic. It's just that the industry is finally catching up. The reason that programmatic does work a lot better than just a homepage banner ad or whatever it may be on placing it direct like you did back in the day, or video pre-rolls for that matter, and I'm not just trying to say displays, because of the fact that in a poll by eMarketer in 2017, people prefer seeing ads and video pre-rolls that are more tailored to what they are looking for versus the shotgun effect. So an example is when I'm sitting there watching the nightly news and I see all of these ads about, um, that have nothing to do with me because of the demographic that it's tailored to in the near future while I'm watching nightly news or whatever it may be, then those ads would be more tailored towards me. So here's another example. Inside of my household, we have Hulu, we have Netflix, we have CBS Access, and about to cut cable because we bought the Hulu package that serves local news channels. How they serve their inventory is through programmatic advertising. One, my house is on the market to sell. Number two, I'm looking for a house. So guess what I get served all the time? I get served banking ads for financing the new mortgage. I get realtor.com to use their app. Make sure you're using a realtor. Wayfair.com because they know that I'm going to have to be buying new stuff for the house that I'm coming to do or to build. Locally here, John Deere Greenway store that we do, they're in the mix because I'm also looking at acreages that are more than 5 acres, and so our programmatic advertising is saying, hey, that person's going to need a small compact utility tractor. So that is what programmatic advertising is. So, but let's talk about what kind of ads annoy people the most. So you don't